forward to game week here. You know, we've had a good preseason, and I think that the guys are ready to get to work here. And in terms of playing their first game, going on the road is going to be a challenge for us. You know, first time in a while we played in front of a packed house, which I'm sure it will be on the road, night game against a very, very good opponent. So had a really good weekend of practice, and now you know, we're not too far away from game day. So I know the guys are excited about it and looking forward to prepare over the next couple days.
We'll open it up for questions. Second row middle, Dave.
Ryan, for whoever is the number 2 quarterback for you, is the plan that they would only play if CJ gets hurt or the game is out of hand, or might you play the number 2 quarterback when the game is on the line just to get them maybe battle tested a little bit?
That's not the plan right now. Yeah, it would just be if we needed to.
And do you have a number 2 quarterback yet?
Not yet. No, I mean we're still working through that. Both of those guys have had really you know, meaningful snaps over camp, and so as we get closer to the game and the preparation continues, you know, I'd like to sit here and tell you that I think that one guy's ahead of the other, but it's actually not the case. It'd make my life a lot easier, but right now I wouldn't say that there's one guy ahead of the other.
Third row right over there, Dylan.
Obviously, DeJuan Jones had a great camp. Is the goal being to get your 5 best offensive linemen on the field at the same time? Is DeJuan one of your best 5 offensive linemen?
We'll see as we get towards game time, but he's had a very, very good camp, and you know, we moved some different guys around, like you said, but I'm very, very, you know, impressed with his approach every day, the way he's worked, the way he's developed over the last 3 years. So you know, we'll continue to work through and see how the next couple days go, but I'm very, very impressed with him and excited to see how he plays.
Second row right, Joey.
Ryan, any update on EA, just his availability?
No, unfortunately we don't. You know, they asked for some, the NCAA asked for some additional, you know, information. So I guess they're still working it over, but unfortunately we don't have any more information even as we're heading into the game here. So difficult spot for him and us as we're waiting to hear the decision, but we're still optimistic that we get good news.
Does it have to get settled before the season, or is it something that could be determined September 10th, September 17th, or like?
Yeah, again, we're just kind of, you know, patiently waiting because that affects, you know, that if he is eligible, then he has an opportunity to be in scholarship. If he isn't, then he has to figure out what the next step for him is, and so again, we're just kind of waiting on that.
Third row left, Jacob.
Yeah, hey Ryan, you kind of touched on it in your opener. You know, you're opening against a conference opponent, and being the first time for you to do that, just how does that change your preparation? Just how impactful is that for you?
It started back in the spring. We talked about this right from the jump when we started the first practice in the spring, that we knew when we saw the schedule that this was going to be something we had to get game ready early in the season, and we'll come right out of the gates with a conference game on the road with a, you know, freshman quarterback or a young quarterback and you know, young linebackers and some guys that haven't played a lot of football. So it was a challenge, you know, this spring to spend a lot of time on fundamentals and techniques, and then this preseason get as many game reps as we possibly can. We tackled a decent amount in the preseason, so feel great about that. We put in a lot of hard work, a lot of physical practices out there. So I'm proud of the work we put in. I mean, I feel good going into this game, but you just don't know what you got until you get out there.
Third row right, Jeremy.
Ryan, with recruiting visits and stuff starting to get back to somewhat normal, obviously I think the expectation will be that visitors have to wear masks inside the buildings, but other than that, has there been any guidelines from the NCAA about what to expect for unofficial visitors, official visitors, limits, et cetera, for the season?
Yeah, I mean, assuming right now where we're at, that it's going to be similar to the way it was in the spring when we did have, you know, June visits, and so, you know, excited to have people back on campus to be able to see games, and I think, you know, it'll probably be very similar to the way it was in June.
Is there any numerical limit that you guys have been given, like on a per weekly basis, about how many you can structure in or fit in?
Per week, no. Obviously we still have our limits in terms of official visits on a calendar year, but no limitations in terms of on a weekly basis right now.
Second row middle, Bill.
Ryan, what are you most excited about for Thursday, and what are you most nervous about?
Excited to just get going and find out what we have and start to you know, solve all the things that need to get fixed, because you don't know till you get out there, and that's coaching. That's the fun part about coaching. The hard part is, you know, you're not allowed to lose around here, so you gotta win. You gotta find a way to win the game and get out of that you know, environment 1-0. And I told the team the other day in the first meeting of the week is that that's the goal here, is to go 1-0. There's no other expectations. You don't know how it's gonna go. And whether we go up, we go down, it's even, we're gonna get that game to the fourth quarter and then find a way to win the game. And that's the only expectation right now, but that is the exciting part is, you know, you have a new challenge year in and year out and finding where guys are and then you build as the season goes on.
You haven't talked a lot about Minnesota. What stands out about them? Obviously, it's a veteran team, and they've got that. What kind of stands out about them?
Like you said, a veteran team that has experience. 2 years ago, they were a top 10 team in the country, and a lot of those guys are still on the team. Certainly, the quarterback and running back's a very good player, and they're very, very well coached. PJ does a good job there. They play hard, take care of the football, fundamentally sound. They make you earn it, and so it's a combination of all those things. And then going on the road to their place, first game of the year.
Third row